In today's episode, I will teach you how to create your very own vision board, but a vision board that really, really works. So stay tuned and watch. This is Alexandra Villarroel Abrego, and I welcome you to another episode of Alexandra at Home. Now, today's episode is very special because today I am teaching you how you can create your very own vision board, and a vision board that works, of course. You know, one where all of those visions that you put on that board will become a reality and that you will be able to manifest them into your life. I've been creating vision boards for over a decade now. I've taught thousands of people how they can do the same, you know, a lot of them being my students. And now I'm gonna have the pleasure of teaching you how you can do the same. Now, as we always do here on Alexandra TV, we like to add a lot of value to your life. So what we've decided to do on top of making this video is to create a free PDF sheet that you can download, as I said, for free. If you go down in the description below this video, it's one where you have all of the essentials that you need for your vision board. Now, of course, I'm gonna explain to you what they are on this episode, you know, on this video, but I also wanted you to have, you know, the PDF that you can print and that you can go and shop with, you know, so that you can go and buy all of those essentials. So before you get started with your vision board, make sure you go in the description below this video, click on the link, and you'll be able to download that resource for free. So first things first, what is a vision board and why should you create one? You see, vision boards, very often when we hear about them, we associate them with the law of attraction, right? You know, we are told that a vision board will help you activate the law of attraction. And I believe that that is true. However, there's another purpose to a vision board, you know, to creating one and to having a vision board. And that is to reprogram your subconscious mind. You see, as human beings, we are multi-sensory beings. Everything that you see, everything that you hear, and everything that you feel on a daily basis will have a tremendous effect on your life and on your future. That means that the things that you are seeing on a daily basis, the things that you're feeling, and the things that you are hearing also are basically having a tremendous influence on your brain and on especially your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind represents 88% of your brain. Here's the difference. Here's what I want you to understand. In our brain, we have the conscious and the subconscious. So right now, all of the, let's say, goals that you have, all of the dreams, all of those things that you're going to put on your vision board, right, which we're going to be talking about in a few moments, well, those things only are in the 12%, which is the conscious mind. It's the things that you want and it's the things that you consciously have to think about it. However, there's an 88% of your brain, that is the subconscious, where all of the things that you actually believe are possible for you reside. Right? So if, let's say, you are saying, okay, I want to be a millionaire. I'm going to become a billionaire or a millionaire, you know, by the time I'm 30 years old. That's what's going to happen for me. That's in your conscious mind. Now, if in your subconscious mind, first of all, you grew up in a very poor environment, and perhaps right now your environment, when you look around you, everything that you see is, you know, represents lack in a way and doesn't show abundance and prosperity. Well, basically your conscious mind is saying, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to do it. But your subconscious mind, you know, is always coming back with saying things like, it's not going to happen. Look around you. It's not your reality. You're never going to become that, right? So here's where a vision board comes into play when it comes to all of this. A vision board is going to be a board where you have all of those visions that you want to realize that are part of your conscious mind. But the more you look at it, you know, the more you spend time looking at it, the more these images, because again, we are multi-sensory being, the more these images will come and start becoming part of your subconscious mind, which is what you want, which is why, you know, positive affirmations work, because it's the things that you hear, you know, on a daily basis. So it's very, very important to understand that, yes, a vision board is great for the law of attraction, which I actually believe in. You know, I believe that the things that you think about the most is what, you know, creates your life and your reality, but that's not it. It's actually also not just, you know, philosophy, it's actually physiology, you know, it's the way our brains work as humans, which is why this tool is so powerful. I remember the first time that I ever heard about vision boards was back in 2009. I was 19 years old at the time, and I was starting for the first time ever to really get into this world of personal development. I remember reading the book The Secret and watching the movie. I remember reading the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and it was the first time of my life that I was ever exposed to that idea, you know, the idea of you can create your own own reality. You are the master of your fate. It was the first time I ever heard about these concepts, and then I heard about a vision board, and I decided to create one because I was like, you know what, I have nothing to lose. Let me give this thing a try. And ever since, over the past decade, I've created several vision boards. I would say every year or every 2 years, I create a new one. And every time I create a new one, it's because the one before, most of the things on the board have become a reality. You know, they have come to full fruition. So, you know, when I look back on my vision boards, it's always a big, I would say, surprise for me, where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Just a few months ago when I first moved into this place, my vision boards were in the deposit in the, I would say, garage of where I was living. And I hadn't seen them in a few years. And I remember I was grabbing them because I didn't want to throw, I never throw them out. I always keep them because it's fun to look back. And I remember going through them, and one of the things that was really surprising for me, one of them was one maybe that I created back in 2013, where a lot of images on that board were like little buttons of elevators, and it was PH for penthouse. And I was moving into a penthouse. Another thing from a vision board that I was like, wow, that was crazy. And I think this was the most crazy experience ever, was I think in 2014, the vision board I created in 2014, I said, okay, that year I wanted to get more serious about YouTube and make more videos and everything. So one of the things that I looked for in images on Google Images was something about YouTube. And I remember in Google Images just finding an image that said YouTube next up. I just remember that, and back at that time in 2014, I had no idea what YouTube next up even meant. And that vision board, again, it was kind of put away after a few years, and then came 2017, and I was at the beginning of 2017, I was creating another vision board. I already had maybe 2 before that. I say 2 before, you know, from 2014 to 2017. And when I was creating it, I said, let me go look at, you know, the past few vision boards. Let's see what has come to full fruition. And I will always remember just looking at one of them, and there was the image of YouTube next up that I had completely forgot about it. But the thing was that a few months before, at the end of in November of 2016, I was one of the 15 winners of YouTube Next Up for Canada, the first edition that they did in Canada. And I went for a week to YouTube Space in Toronto and everything. And again, when I cut that image back in 2014, I had no idea what YouTube Next Up even meant. For me, it was just like YouTube Next Up, you know, you're like the next, you know, YouTuber, you know, the next big thing. And next thing you know, 2 years after, I was invited by YouTube as a winner of YouTube Next Up. So that was really, really a crazy experience. So anyways, I could really go on and on and on talking about so many other things that have manifested into my life over the years that I put on a vision board and have become a reality, but this video would never end. And the goal of this video, of course, is to teach you how you can create your own vision board. So now let's move on to the essentials, the things that you absolutely need in order to create your own vision board. So the very first thing that you will need in order to create your own effective vision board is obviously a board, right? So you need a board. I like to personally use foam boards because they are firm, but anything that is firm is good. You know, you can have a canvas, anything like that. And also make sure that it's large, you know, that it's gonna take space and that you can actually see it and that it's big and it's visible. It's very important. So number one, always a board, obviously. The second thing you need is just a notepad, or perhaps even just a pen and a paper. And this is gonna be part of the first step to create your vision board. In a few moments, I'm gonna give you the different steps. Then we have obviously some magazines, because there has to be some images on your board. So make sure you have different magazines that you like and that inspire you. Magazines where you think you will find some images that will be good for your vision board. So I have here the Oprah magazine, I have Vogue, I have Forbes. So, you know, different magazines that have to do with the kind of lifestyle and life that you want. Another thing that you need is Google Images. As simple as that, you just need Google Images, because for the images that you won't be able to find perhaps in magazines, you can go and find them online, print them, and then use them for your vision board. Also, you're gonna need some glue and some scissors in order to put all of those images on your vision board, and even actually some Scotch tape. You know, it's not that essential, you know, it's not that important, but I like to use Scotch tape, and in a few moments I'm going to tell you why. And finally, the last thing that is so important is pictures of yourself. You know, you want to have pictures of yourself that are part of the vision. Now, I'm not talking about pictures of you from 10 years ago or from 5 years ago, or even pictures of you where when you look at them, you remember bad time of your life, bad period. You want to have some pictures where you look happy, where you look like you're enjoying life, and where you look good and that are recent. So let's start with step number one. Step number one, this is where you need your notepad and your pen, because what you're going to do is that you're going to take a nice little evening off, maybe an evening where you're feeling good, where you're feeling inspired, where you're feeling very optimistic about the future, and you're going to sit down perhaps with a glass of wine, as I do, and you're going to start writing down all of the things that you wish to manifest in your life. And remember, again, keep in mind that we are multi-sensory beings, as I said. So what are the things that, let's say, in the next 5 years you want to see around you? This could be the kind of house where you want to live, the type of car that you want to drive. This could be the places where you want to travel to. So images perhaps of, the places where you want to go. Then what are the things that you're going to hear? So this could be different quotes that you find in magazines or online. What are people going to be saying about you? Are they going to say that you're the next big thing, the next thought leader of this generation, something like that? What are the things that you're going to be hearing in your life? And also, what are the things that you're going to be feeling? So images really that represent how you will feel. So again, these things, you write them down. You just write down the type of image that you're looking for. Another thing that is good to do is to look at the 10 aspects of your life. This is something that I always share with my students. There are 10 aspects of your life. There's a physical health, there's your emotional health, there's your spirituality, there's your career, there's your finances, there's your entertainment also, recreation, there's your social life, there's your love life, there's the organization and time management of your life, and there's their learning and personal development. So if you want, you can also take a look at these 10 aspects of your life and write down for each aspect what are the things that you want to manifest when it comes to, let's say, entertainment. Perhaps you want to take a dancing class. You can put, images of people dancing. Perhaps when it comes to spirituality, you want to start meditating. So you want to have an image of someone meditating. So the first step, the most important step I find, is to really make a very, very extensive list of all of the images that you wish to become your life, really. So that's step number one. Step number two is where you start looking for those images. So now that's when you go in the magazines, you start cutting, from the magazines, all of the images. You go on Google Images, you write, these keywords that you wrote on your paper in Google Images. You find these images, you print them, make sure you print them in a nice, glossy paper with nice colors and vibrant, because you want to make sure that your vision board is beautiful when you look at it. And also, of course, you want to print pictures of you. So that's another thing that you also have to do. Once you finish finding all of your images and you cut them and you make sure that they are nicely cut. Again, when it comes to presentation and things like that, I'm very much into it, and I highly suggest and recommend that you do the same. So make sure you have nice cutly images, that everything is nice and perfect. That's when you want to grab your vision board, perhaps put it on a table, and that's where the Scotch tape comes into play. Because then what I like to do is I like to put just a little bit of Scotch tape behind the images, not a type of Scotch tape that is going to destroy them, right? The type of Scotch tape that kind of comes off easily. And then I start to put them and place them to make sure that I know exactly where they should be. Now, the reason why I use Scotch tape, you might say, why don't you just put them and move them around, is because sometimes if you don't finish it in the same day, your vision board, then there can be a wind coming from the window and then all of the images go everywhere. And it has already happened to me, which is why I like to use Scotch tape now. And then once I know the positioning of every image and that everything makes sense and it's looking good, that's when I can start going with the glue and really sticking the images on my vision board. And then finally, the last final step to this is to hang your vision board in a place that you see every single day. If you put your vision board somewhere in a closet and you never look at it again for months, you're not going to manifest these things into your life. It's not going to happen, because again, it's the things that you see, hear, and feel every single day that are creating your reality in your life. So you want to make sure that you see it every day, maybe every morning or every night before going to sleep. So you can put it in your bedroom, somewhere where you get to see it all of the time, because that's the most important, I think, step of them all when it comes to creating your own vision board. So that is it for this, tutorial on how to create your own vision board. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand now why a vision board is so powerful, how you can create one, and also, of course, how you can use one. In the comment section below, let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Let me know also if you are going to create your own vision board, and also if you have some positive experiences, and feedback to give about your past vision boards. You know, what are the things that you have manifested into your reality? I would love to hear from you. Don't forget also to like, don't forget to share with all of your friends, and obviously to subscribe for new episodes almost every day here on Alexandra TV. So that is it for today, and I will see you very soon.